Welcome back to the Quadcast, where four college students talk about life, relationships, family, all for you. I'm your host, Carlo.
I'm Naya.
I'm MJ.
And I'm JULI.
Times.
I don't believe we can hear you.
Great job, Carlo. So anyway, it's okay, bloopers. That's gonna be clipped up. Anyway, so I'll kick it off and ask, we're gonna start with some heat already. What was your first kiss like, guys?
Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started. So basically, elementary school, right? Everyone's like rushing to grow up at that stage. At least for me. I don't know. Class of 23, we a little crazy like that. I was like kind of like quote unquote dating someone, but it was like 5th grade. So we don't really count that though.
Well, you're my boyfriend.
Oh God.
And we were like, oh my God, should we like try to kiss tomorrow? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's meet under the stairs after school.
Are
And
you
I'm
okay
like,
with kissing? Are you okay with kissing?
Oh, bro.
Oh,
I
it's
dead ass
such an
remember asking my girlfriend that back in like 5th grade and hearing her say no and being like just crushed.
Rejected.
no, poor Carlo.
So
But
what was your first kiss like?
it was like, it lasted for like not even a second, like a tenth of a second. It was just like a little peck. And it felt so weird. It was like, it felt so like mushy. I don't think, as a 5th grader, I was like, you know, I didn't actually like this dude. I just wanted like, oh, first kiss.
Wanted the experience kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt left out.
What about you, MJ? How old were you when you had your
Um,
first kiss?
How old was I? I got married in preschool. Does that count? To this day, I get my parents show me my wife. Like, oh, look how pretty your wife is, and I was like, I can't have a girlfriend. So it's kind of weird. But she kissed me a lot, so I don't know if we're gonna count preschool. Are we
MJ,
gonna
the
count?
player.
Side eye.
Wait, are we counting the preschool one or not?
Okay, we can count that, but what was your real first kiss? Like your real first kiss?
Like, where it led to something else, or just like a first kiss?
No.
Whoa.
I meant like where you like genuinely like initiated the kiss. Like it wasn't like a like, oh, we're like 4 and like wow.
I don't know if I could tell this story here. Oh, but
Oh, is it that
actually, no,
spicy?
my parents know about this. My parents know about this. Okay.
Oh,
So
if the parents know, then
second,
it's okay.
yeah, 2nd grade, right? I was picked as the student chaperone. So I was showing the new kid, everywhere to go. And then I was just during lunch. I remember this like clearly. We went over to this play structure. It was wooden. And I remember there's this girl up there on the other side that liked me. And she called my name. She's like, hey MJ, wanna have pretend sex? And I was like, at 2nd grade, I'm like, what's sex? And she's like, I'll show you. So I was like, what? And I asked the guy, I'm not gonna drop the name. I still remember his name because of this. But I was like, what do you know what that is? He's like, no, I've never heard of it. So she pushed me under the play structure, we were wearing clothes, obviously, got on top of me and just started like making out with me. And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty cool, you know?
Bro, aren't you like 6, 7?
Yeah.
Dog.
Dog.
So I guess you could say I got like, I mean, I guess I gave consent though, so it's not rape, but like,
Trigger warning for anybody. That's crazy.
that
That's
is
wild.
crazy. There's no way that didn't like cause
Julie, you don't know this
developmental
story?
issues. No, I
You
mean
don't know
he told me before. But like it's still bizarre every time I hear it. Like there's no way that didn't affect you
What?
mentally.
No, it definitely affected me mentally.
Bro, I didn't start thinking about that stuff until I was like maybe like 10 max. Like that's the earliest probably. But
Yeah, ever since then, it's been wild. Second grade was like, yeah.
Carlo for
That-
real.
That girl, she's probably wilding out today.
Oh wow. You're so right.
Most likely.
yeah,
I don't
prayers
know.
sent out to her family.
Yes. I hope all is well with her. This was in
Carlo,
Japan.
what was Damn. Carlo, what was your first kiss like?
My first kiss. So I'm similar to MJ where like in preschool, funny enough, like I don't know if it was like this for you guys too, but like I grew up kissing my parents. Like when I was little. Yeah. So like
Oh
I
my
would kiss
God.
like
Me and MJ just talked about this yesterday. Wait, because my mom has a children's book and the cover is like a mom kissing her like child.
mhm.
And MJ was like, "What is this? This is so weird." I'm like, "You didn't do that as a kid?" And that I just hit me
MJ,
like,
you didn't do that?
No, I never kissed any parent on the lips. The
really?
most
What?
I remember I would kiss like my grandparents, like maybe on the lips, but like
Mm.
I don't remember because I was like, like a baby.
Nah, bruh. I was the most affectionate kid. Like I kissed my parents, I kissed my cousins, sometimes my aunts and uncles, sometimes. But like that was up until like obviously like up until like age like 4 or 5, right? Like
I knew
at that
that.
point it cuts off right there.
A preference. Carlo's cousins are like 20 years older than him, so don't be weird.
Hey, I'm gonna defend my cousins. They are not 20 years older than me. They are like 10 years older than me. So when they listen
hold
to
up, hold up.
Oh,
I think they're fighting.
so when they listen to this, I want you to know, my cousins, I love you and you are not that old. I understand. It's okay. You can hate on Naya. It's fine. But anyway, carrying on with the story, I was an affectionate kid. And so I actually went to, it was funny because I went to I'm pretty sure it was like a Catholic preschool. But during playtime, I would run around like the playground, and there was this one girl specifically. I remember every single time I made eye contact with her, I'd stop running around, go up to her, and then just kiss her. Yeah, it was crazy.
what?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. And funny enough, here's the crazy story. I ran into that girl maybe like 10 years later. Maybe we were like maybe like 13, 14, right? And she didn't remember me. But I was like, "Did you go to Little Friends Learning Center, which was our preschool?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I went there too. Do you remember me? I was the boy who used to kiss you all the time."
What
And
an
she obviously,
introduction.
exactly, right? And
Wow.
in my head, I'm like, yo, she's probably gonna remember this. But now looking back, she was maybe like 3 at the time. So she's not gonna remember. So imagine being like 13, 14, right? And just some dude comes up to you and is like, "Oh yeah, I used to kiss you all the time." I know. I look back now and I'm like, I regret that so much. But I'm similar to MJ back in preschool, yes. But first kiss probably wasn't until like I was like 10. And it was maybe like similar to Julie, where it was like, "Are you okay with kissing? Yeah, okay, let's kiss under the basketball hoop tomorrow during recess." But yeah. What about you, Ben?
Unlike you guys who had their first kiss when you guys were like still in elementary school, I was a late blossomer and I didn't get my first kiss till freshman year of high school. Yeah, I wasn't the type of girl who like was looking to find her first kiss in elementary. I think like middle school I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I like really like this boy, but like I'm too shy to like actually make a move or anything. Um and then yeah, like high school, my first like actual relationship, um, we were in class actually. We were in class and like we had just like gotten together and our friends in our class were like, "Bro, you guys should kiss. You guys should kiss." And then he kissed me, and so it was more like a peer pressure, but like secretly wanted it kind of thing. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my first kiss story."
Wow.
I remember being that kid who peer pressured all my friends into kissing. was like-
Wow.
I would have been like, "Yo, MJ, kiss Julie, come on, kiss Julie, do it. You won't do it."
I hate those situations. That happened to me so many times. It was with this dude I was just talking to, and all of his friends were like, kiss, kiss, kiss for a TikTok. And we kissed for a TikTok. And I was like, oh, bye. And I never talked to him again.
Wasn't that Hoka?
Yeah, it was a Hoko actually.
Yeah, that's why you. Okay, yeah, that's why. Okay,
I love how MJ just vividly remembers this.
Yeah, because I told
No.
him the day it happened.
because I was gonna kiss her too, but I was like, nah, I can't put it through another thing. So
Damn, all the boys at that school got Julie fever.
this was last year, dog. Bro.
Oh, that was last year? Damn.
Oh yeah, this was last year. This was last year.
Oh, okay. Damn. Okay. What other firsts did you guys want to cover?
Mhm. Naya, did you go?
Yeah, I have a couple of first time situations. I think moving away from like the typical first time, oh, I'm in love. What was your first um time that you got severely injured? Let it sink in, let it sink in. And if you've never gotten severely injured, then like the closest thing to being like severely injured. Like what have you gone to the hospital for?
Now, this is my kind of question. So,
Go off, bro. She's gotta go off.
all right, if you know me personally, you know they know me at the hospital at this point. They know, oh, it's Julie
I'm
again. What's
scared.
up?
I'm scared.
Literally, I have broken and hurt too many bones. Too many bones. Let's see. I've injured my right ankle so many times that like one more time and I'm done. No more walking. Like that's how bad it is. But I'd say the most like severe injury I've had was when I broke my collarbone. Like right here, it snapped in half. And the story is insane. So I used to play soccer and I was in the forward position and I was taking up the ball and I was coming up on the penalty box and I was like, what if I fake a fall so I can get that penalty kick? You know, like this is an important game. I want to win for my team. Let's take this trophy home. So I'm coming up on that penalty box and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fall on my side, you know, make it like, all right, this is gonna be all planned out. So then someone slide tackles me, you know, I planned it, then I fell. But I like applied too much pressure that like this just went like, pfft. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
Oh my god.
I think you could still see it. I don't know, like, not really, but like, yeah. Sorry.
No.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
Bone.
Wow. Nope. Okay, if you know me, like I have a very, this is gonna sound weird, but I have like a very muscular neck. And so anything in this like region or like hearing about it makes me like if you don't believe me on the muscular neck, I do this all the time and Naya hates it, but like
Ooh.
yeah. So you know how like boxers like work out their neck? So back when I was playing tennis, I used to train my neck because I used to like, you know how like MJ, you know how like when you're playing tennis, like sometimes when you make impact with the ball, like sometimes like you'll move your head too much. So I used to have
Yeah,
like a really
struggle with
skinny
that
neck.
all the time, bro.
Yeah, I used to have like a really skinny neck. So I started training it so that I had better like control when I was playing. But anyway, so anything like in this area, I'm like, because I used to like, you know how like if you've ever seen like boxers train, they'll put on like that helmet with like chains, and then they put a weight on the bottom, and then they literally will just do this for hours to like weight it. So like the thought of like something happening here or here, I'm like, blah. But yeah, no. MJ, have you ever gone super injured?
Not to the I mean, I've never broken a bone, but I've fractured my ankle, and I've had to wear casts. And then the way I did that was I was playing with my cousins. It was the first day I flew back from Hawaii to my grandma's house, which is in San Diego. And we all were just, playing like tag or freeze tag. And I hopped off just a two-step ledge and I landed wrong and I landed right on my ankle. I don't know which ankle it is because I've hurt both, but I think it's. And then when it hurt so much, I was just on the floor. And when I stood up again to try to walk on it, I rolled it again. So I was just made it worse. And then I had to pull out of my tournament. The whole family had to cancel their Great Wolf Lodge stay. We all just kind of planned the thing around me, and I felt so bad because like just thousands of dollars just because I broke my ankle.
Damn.
Yeah,
Of
I
course, you rolled it
definitely
again.
feel
I still do.
No, he still does.
I
Like,
rolled
nah,
it.
that's a tennis player thing for sure.
Yeah.
fair enough, fair enough.
What about you, Naya?
I I've played sports growing up, but like I would say I'm a pretty clumsy person and I haven't broken a bone, and I'm gonna hopefully keep it like that for the rest of my life. But I have gotten like bad stitches before. Um when I was 4, you can actually still like when you see it in person, it's right under my chin. There's 8 stitches. um for context, MJ is MJ is not having it. Um but basically what happened, I was like 4 years old and I was on one of those jungle gyms that's like curved like this, kind of like a moon shape, a half crescent, and you climb the bars and you get over, right? I was 4, having fun. I was on the jungle gyms. I went to the top, right? And then I think what happened was like I misplaced my foot or something, or I didn't grab the bar, and then I fell through the hoop, through like the holes, and I hit my chin on the bar.
MJ's done. MJ's done.
Excuse my unprofessionalism, but that's not. Oh, can't do blood,
I
dude.
was 4 at the time, so I don't remember like all of the pain. I just, this is just a memory of like what happened. Yeah, I hit my chin on the bar and it started gushing out blood. And so my mom, she rushed me to the hospital, and like, yeah, I don't remember what had happened, but basically they stitched it up, and then like for the rest of my life, anytime I feel under my chin, I can just feel the stitches. It's not obvious. It looks like just a regular chin, but yeah, that's there. You okay,
Okay, I
MJ?
think I don't do well. Yeah, I don't do well with stitches because I gave my brother like stitches behind his head, and
What?
he still has the marks there too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
How?
Yeah, how did that happen?
We were 10 ninjas. No, I'm kidding. So what happened was we were playing we were jumping on my bed, right? We just, I think he was 3 and I was 6. We were just jumping on the bed, and then he got
jumping
too
on the
close
bed.
to me. He got too close to me, and I was like, "Watch out, bro!" And I went like this, slow your roll, and then he like took a step back, and then I have this by my bed, and there's these 2 angels that would watch over me, but the wings were really sharp. So he hit his head, like he went back. He's like, and then there was blood
Oh my
everywhere.
god.
I started screaming. I was like, "Oh!" I was so gross.
Oh my god.
And then, dude, I just remember there's so much blood, and then we had to cover his blood with my favorite pillow, and I was so mad. I was so mad at that.
Hey, no way, your brother is bleeding out, fighting for his life, and you're like, my pillow.
Yeah. And then the funniest thing is the way I had to like, my mom was out for a run, and my dad was home. But you know what my dad was doing? Bro
was he
was taking the meanest poop of his life. So
No.
I was like, "Dad, open the door. We need to go to the hospital. AJ's head is broken." And he swings open the door. Like he's like, how people like take a poo-poo. His shorts were around his ankles, shirt off and
No.
everything. He's like, "What did you do to your brother?" And I was like, "Bro, look at you." I didn't say that. It's funny to think about now.
Bruh.
Oh,
I can
Yes.
imagine Uncle listening to this podcast and remembering, yeah, that was so stupid of you, MJ.
yeah. I just remember we had to go to the ER, and I just kept passing out. I was like just knocked out.
How old were you guys?
Maybe 3 and 6. I remember AJ was really young. Might have been in the because this was when we were still in Japan.
So I'll preface this with saying I've never had a really bad injury, but MJ's story of him and his brother brought up like a core memory that I've like locked away for like years. But for those of you who don't know, my younger brother, he's 7 years younger than me. He has autism. And so it's good context to know because of this story. So when he was a baby, like he had just been born. And obviously, like when you're 7, you're kind of scared to carry like a baby. Like that's a whole life that's in your arms, and you're like 7 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm carrying my brother while my like dad's playing video games. And I don't know what happened. I think I started to like fall asleep, but I like accidentally dropped my brother. And he like, I don't remember if he landed on his head or what happened, but basically he's like a baby, right? And so like those things, like it does affect it if it's like a big fall. But I was like literally like sitting on the couch and like I accidentally dropped it. You know what I mean? And so looking back, it wasn't that big of a deal. But when I found out that he had autism, I remember thinking that it was my fault. And like
Oh my
blaming,
gosh.
yeah, I remember like blaming it on myself for like a good like 3 years until finding out that it's a hereditary thing, or not a hereditary thing, but like it's a genetic thing. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, a kid can be normal and then he just becomes autistic because you drop him. Like that's not a thing. You know what I mean? But I remember being so young that I didn't think about those things. And so I thought that like my brother is autistic because of me. So like that brought up a core memory of that. But yeah, going back to injuries, I don't have any core injuries.
damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of a life tidbit, but swinging it back to I don't know, because we're two couples here, I like to always bring it back to relationships. What was the first, this is going to be pretty spicy. Do you guys, ooh, I don't know. Okay, because I think this is going to take a little bit longer, I want to hear this one first. What was your first like bad breakup like?
Bad breakup. What do you mean by bad? Like bad for you two, or
Like
just a heartbreak?
Heartbreak. I'd say heartbreak. Because there's probably someone who's listening to this who's going through a similar thing, or yeah, who could take away something from it.
So sorry, when you say bad, like it ended up being toxic. Like the
yeah, I'd say something that was more like yeah, where like the breakup it left you in a bad spot afterwards. So yeah, I guess you could say toxic, because like some good relationships also end badly. You know what I mean? Let it marinate for MJ first. Why don't you go first, Julie?
Let it marinate. Last time we let it marinate,
He forgot what the question was.
he forgot he just sat with his thoughts. It did not marinate. Let it
I
seep in,
overcooked
MJ. You overcooked it. Okay. I don't know. I feel like me and MJ's relationship is like the first real relationship I've ever had. Like my other ones were just kind of like flimsy, but I know it's kind of dumb to say like, oh, like my 5th grade relationship messed me up. Like, I know that's dumb, but like,
No, it's like what had you in your feels, bro? Like it might have been as dumb as a 5th grade relationship. My personally, like I'll probably go into this afterwards, but like my first like heartbreak where I was like, damn, I enjoyed that relationship, but it gotta go. It gotta go was in middle school. And you know the saying, we don't count middle school relationships. But dude, it hurt me. It hurt me. So if it's in 5th grade, go ahead, go for it.
yeah. I mean, it was like, that's like the first heartbreak. I remember I had another heartbreak in middle school, but like the first one was like, he was pretty toxic for a 5th grader. Like low key, he made me cry all the time. He made me feel bad about like, he was very controlling. And, if he's out there, hey, I hope you have changed as a person, because I don't know, he was really mean. He didn't let me talk to anyone like at all. He was like, I better not see you talking with that dude. Like, I know you're gonna like leave me for him. And I'm like, bro,
Jeez.
I'm like, bro, like
As a 5th grader?
yes,
Dog, you're 11.
Bro.
He was so controlling. Like he really, because okay, in my school, for context, we had this thing called micro society, and we would have our own like jobs, and you could be an owner of a job. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like provides a lot of opportunities, teaches you a lot about like skills and real life stuff. And I started a job with that dude. And we called it Mix It Up, and we made little origamis and we sold them to people. It was fake currency, obviously, but I remember in our job we held a meeting, and he made me cry in front of everyone because I dropped a lot of papers, and one of my the people that worked there helped me out, and he was like my friend. And then like he said, oh, you're gonna leave me for him, huh? Like he just started like degrading me, and I'm like, bro, we're in 5th grade. And then I just
Dude,
started
this
bawling my
10-year-old
eyes
is
out.
this 10-year-old's gaslighting you, bro. At 10
Yeah.
years, 10 years of age. Oh my
No,
god.
yeah. Our like relationship went on and off all throughout middle school too. So yeah. Thankfully I don't even talk to him. I don't know where he is, but I was heartbroken when it ended, because like he hurt me a lot, but like I kind of missed him. It was like
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I had one of those mini societies too in 5th grade. Did you guys have that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, I had something
I
like
had
that.
one.
Yeah, I was a mayor for mine, dude. That was so cool.
What?
I got voted in as the mayor, and I kind of like saved us.
How?
I don't know why,
MJ
but like, huh?
saved your society?
Yeah, because
Are you sure?
the OG mayor, I don't know why they got like
Bro, you
fired.
can't even remember a question after like 10 seconds. How you save a whole society?
Let me cook. Watch this. Okay, so
Nah.
everybody was like in debt. The bank wasn't getting the money out, and then everyone the mayor out. And then the teacher was like, "All right, I'll take names. Somebody," he's like, "We're all just gonna vote right now who should be the mayor," and the whole class was there. and no one put their hand up. So I was like, I just put my hand up as a joke. I was like, I'll do it. And then I got like 30 votes. I was like, oh no. Because I said I wanted the mayor's salary.
Oh my
So
god.
then
It's only
they
in
were
it for the
like,
bag.
yeah, I was after the bag. And then they were like,
First, he's only dating Julie for the clout. Now he's only becoming mayor for the bag.
Wow. I see how it is. I see the patterns. I see the patterns.
dude, this made me sound like a bad person. Don't worry, I've changed. Oh, but
MJ, remember you're like 10 at the time.
yeah, I think so. But this because I did an auction. I was like, what's a good way to get a lot of people to bring in money and then spread that money out? I said we should all do an auction, like just bring stuff. And that ended up being like the most successful thing. Like some people would bring in drawings that we could auction. Some people would bring in like food and stuff. And I was so proud of that. Moving on. Biggest heartbreak, right? Oh no. Heartbreak. It's breakup, right? The thing is, I would be the one kind of doing the breaking up. Just
Okay, then for you, like, what was the first time you broke someone's heart?
middle school. And this is gonna make me sound. I don't want to name drop though, but it's because
It's okay.
I
Oh,
can't.
don't name drop, but like, it's okay if you
Oh.
tell the story.
Okay. So what happened was, I just moved from Hawaii to California, right? I was in 8th grade, and it was during math class, and I had to go to Alabama for zone or not Alabama. I had to go somewhere for a team event. I think it was Zonos, so I had to go somewhere for tennis, right? And then what happened
Was this with the Hawaii team?
yeah, I was still eligible for the Hawaii team.
Wow. Okay.
For them, right? And then I was still keeping in touch with everybody there and blah 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 blah. And then the girl, I needed to get someone's phone number for my math class to get all the missing work. And I was like, guys, can I please have someone's number? I need this for the work. I won't hit you up. I won't do any of that stuff. I just need my work done. And this girl gave me her phone number. And then we ended up just like texting a lot, talking a lot. And then she ended up like confessing her feelings for me.
Was this
And
girl
at the-
on the Hawaii team?
No, she was here in California.
Okay.
And then I ended up thinking, I was like, yeah, I need the distraction from, because I couldn't get over this one person from Hawaii, right? I think you might know Carlo.
I know who you're talking about.
And then yeah, I was like, whatever, I'll do that. And then what happened was I ended up I guess we became a thing for like 2 or 3 weeks, but she was such a great person. She would bring me like little snacks. Like she would let me have my own alone time with my friends and stuff like that. She was a good person. Like there's nothing wrong with her. It's just I ended up leaving her for that one girl.
Wait, you and that one girl got together?
Yes.
I did not know this.
You didn't know that?
Even Julie knew that.
Dude, I
Wait,
didn't even know.
isn't that girl's parents like hella strict?
Yes. That is
Oh,
one of the, I don't want to say this out loud, but like I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we broke up. Because they were they were strict. I guess that was my biggest heartbreak. That was the other one. It was intertwined. Because I think she ended up breaking up with me, or the parents broke us up. In my eyes, the parents broke us up. Wow. So I was like, damn, that changed that as a person, I guess, because I saw it coming. So I was preparing for it.
I didn't even know y'all got together. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Because we were keeping it on the DL. But my parents knew, her parents knew. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know this. That's crazy. That's crazy. 10 years of friendship for what, bro? I didn't even know this.
Dang.
I'm glad.
Nice.
It's because she was like, don't tell anybody. And I was like, our secret is safe with us. Something like that.
This is the girl that was on the same JTT team as us, right? Oh, he frozen. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is
He's
the girl that
back.
was on the. This was the
Wait,
girl.
you completely. Oh, what?
This
Sorry.
was the girl that was on the same JTT team as us, right?
I remember when I told you stuff. There's two I was talking about, right? That I.
Wow.
Oh, guys, I gotta go.
Wow.
Shucks.
She's a player, bro.
It's my bedtime.
Damn. I
I
knew
guess
you were
I
a
did.
player, but
You knew I was a player? I'm not a player.
He's a tennis player.
That's
oh,
my
my bad.
Shut up,
Wait,
bro.
you're on
Shut
this. You're on this.
up.
Anyway, I changed as a person. That really changed me. That taught me so many life lessons, and I hope it reflects.
No, but
What, being
shout
a
out to
being a player?
No, oh my.
bro. Shout out to tennis players all over the world, bro. Y'all breaking hearts. Not gonna lie, like tennis players. I don't know what it is with us tennis players, bro. We break hearts. It's bad. Like there's not a single person I know who has dated a tennis player or is dating a tennis player, and that person is or was not, or isn't or was not a player at one point in time. Like it's a thing. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you got your heart broken by a tennis player, don't worry. It's a thing. It's a thing.
You were a victim.
I think I was a player because of that second grade thing.
Blame it on the second grade thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Just blame
Yeah,
it
It's
on
not
That's
that.
okay.
blame.
Trauma.
It's literally
trauma.
what happened.
Trauma. Crazy.
Trauma's good. Okay. Getting back on track. Naya, what about you? What was your first
Oh my
heartbreak
gosh,
like?
complete this, please.
Um, before I get into that, sorry, I wanted to backtrack onto the onto the fifth grade society thing. Bro, like we didn't have like societies, but it was more like we teamed up and we created our own businesses. And and for us it was like our year that we had that project, we used actual currency. So parents would actually come to our school and walk around the shops, and like for me and my friends, like our business, we had like cutesy like stationery products kind of thing, or like pencil cases and like pencil holders and like just a bunch of like different things, but we used actual currency to buy the products and mark it down, and then parents would come and like give their kids money so they could also walk around and buy our products, and then we just split up the money. So it was like not in a sense free cash in fifth grade, but like easy money in fifth grade, bro. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But anyways,
Is that allowed?
Real money is crazy.
anyways,
We had like fake money.
yeah, the year before us had fake money, like all the years before us, but then our year they decided to use actual currency, which is pretty cool.
I think that's
Um,
like illegal somewhere, but I wouldn't know.
somewhere, but here in Hawaii, it was legal, I guess.
Yeah.
No, but back on my first heartbreak. Um, yeah, mine was in like middle school. It was one of those middle school relationship type deals. And like I really, really liked the guy that I was dating. And like the only reason why actually, um, so me and this guy in middle school, we like got together in like seventh grade, and then we broke up during the summer, and then we got back together the later half of eighth grade kind of thing. Um, and then we like officially broke up because he was going to a different high school than I was. So like the first time we broke up, I was actually the one who initiated the breakup. But
What?
the second time we broke up, no wait, the second time, both of the times we broke up, I initiated it because it was like the second one makes sense because we were going to different high schools. It was like, we can't really make this work. Neither one of us drives, nor do we live near each other, and this isn't gonna work kind of thing. But I genuinely really like the guy, and um when I broke up with him, I was like I was pretty heartbroken because like it was the first time, like I would say I wouldn't say it's my first like real relationship, but it was one of those where like he really cared for me, and like he would coming back from trips, he would always get me like little souvenirs. So like I really liked the guy. And so then when we broke up, like I was kind of I was kind of sad in my room, those like 8th grade emo vibes that you get at some point in middle school, listening to sad music. Um, but it was one of those things where it's like, oh, I understand why we broke up because we went to different high schools and we're both living our lives. And yeah, that was my heartbreak. What about you, Carlo?
Mine was in middle school too, but mine was a little bit different from like your your standard like middle school relationship. Um, in the sense of like we stayed together for like a whole year. You know what I mean? Which in middle school isn't as common, I don't feel like. Um, but this relationship definitely like left a mark on me afterwards, I'd say. So we were together. For context, she's a year younger, and so I think I was in 7th grade when we first started dating. But the thing was, this girl like couldn't date because we were hella young, and so I remember it being Valentine's Day, and like I had like finally worked up the courage to like just be like, hey, do you want to be my Valentine? And she said yes. And I was like, let's go. After like 4 months of talking, like it had been a while. And then we later that day, because we had always like talked on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like when you're that age, all you do is talk on Instagram. I feel like a lot of relationships nowadays is also like that. But I text her and I'm like, hey, like I know you're not allowed to date, but do you want to be in, and it's a low key cringe, but also really cute. I was like, do you want to be in a mutual understanding? So for those of you who don't know what a mutual understanding is, essentially is like, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a mutual understanding that I like you and you like me, but we're not dating. Right. So in a way I was like, I was just asking her, I'm like, do you like me? You know what I mean? And she said, yeah. And so from then on, we would talk every single day. And when I tell you, like, I fell hard for this girl, like I fell hard for this girl. Now, when you're that young, I don't know when you get, did you guys go through like an emo phase at one point in time? Like a real emo phase? MJ's gonna be like that. Julie's emo phase never ended.
I never saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's not
Oh
a
my
phase,
God.
it's a lifestyle.
Not a phase.
Okay, but did you guys go through like that period of time where you were just depressed for no goddamn reason?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like sad just to be sad,
Oh yeah.
just to feel that feeling.
Yeah.
So people can
I was really
Um,
sad when I. Oh, sorry. No, you can go.
No,
My
no, no.
bad.
just so people can empathize with you because you want to feel loved.
In a sense. MJ, what were you to say?
Said I felt. I don't think it's an emo phase, but I was really sad when I moved from Y to here, and I.
Well, that's a good reason though.
Yeah, that's why I was like not a real emo phase. Like it was a genuine reason. I like went in like depression and stuff. But
He valid. He valid.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reason why I bring that up is because towards the ending of our relationship, I started getting really depressed. And I think it also partially had to do with like, like I my so my family like has brought up like college from a very, very young age. And so like I was thinking about college when I was like 13. You know what I mean? Like I was already picking like which school I wanted to go to, what I wanted to major in and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was and I know like looking back, I think it's partially because like that was what I was mainly playing tennis for. Like my main goal was to go on scholarship. Um, but anyway, like the stresses of that school, tennis, and also just like me and her relationship was slowly starting to, when you're that age, you don't have much to talk about. You know what I mean? And like here's the thing, we were not calling like at all. You know what I mean? Like we were just texting all the time. What were you gonna say? What are you gonna say, Naya?
Yo, I just it's just popped into my head, but like I don't know if this is the same for you guys in the mainland, but um during like middle school, uh I feel like one because I for me I had that same like, oh, I'm depressed for no reason kind of feeling, and I think a lot of kids in like especially here in Hawaii for some reason, I it could have been like nationwide, but there were a lot of kids that were just sad for no reason. But this came into mind. Um, that was around the time that 13 Reasons Why first came out, or like the first season.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I remember that schools had to send out like actual like letters saying, don't let your kid watch this kind of thing. And then everyone started just being sad for no reason. No shade on 13 Reasons Why. I think the first season was great. Everything after that, eh. But do you guys like remember that? Like when that happened?
I remember
Yes.
that. I remember thinking Hannah Baker was hot.
What?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Uh,
Yeah, bro. But
Oh,
anyway,
I was about to say a joke, but never mind.
you interrupted my story, Naya.
Ooh.
Yeah, I never watched
I
this.
apologize. I apologize.
But so I'll get to the end real quick. But essentially, like it, when you're that age, you don't call, and you also don't know how to cope with feelings like that. So we ended our relationship because of that, and it sucked because I was already in this really sad phase, and then I lost the relationship with someone who I really, really cared about. And she was essentially my best friend too. You know what I mean? And so it sucked. Like we broke up early part of 8th grade, and I just remember being really sad about it for the rest of 8th grade. Fast forward to 9th grade though, was when I hit my like when you like my first ever like glow up. Like I lost all the like baby fat and like got super lean and like got piercings and stuff like that. And I was feeling good. I was like, I'm finally over her and yada yada yada. And I was like feeling good about myself. But I remember during that, like for the like 8 months that we weren't together, just praying that one day that she would just text me, just be like, hey. Like all I wanted to see was like a hey and like a smiley face. Fast forward to right before 9th grade starts, literally 2 days beforehand, I go into my Instagram and I see a request to message, and it's from her. And she says, hey. So we start talking, and she was like, I don't have much to say to you, but I just want to show you this. And she sends me a link to a Google Doc. And it was an essay that she had written for one of her English classes. And the prompt was talk about one of the first times that you like got really sad about something. And she talked about how after we broke up, it was super sad for her to see me go and date someone else, and how she wished that she could tell me that she loved me before we broke up, but she never worked up the courage to. Because for context, I had told her that I loved her while we were dating, and she didn't say it back at that point in time because she wasn't ready. And so in the essay, she was like, I wish that I told him, but it's too late now. He's going off to high school and yada, yada, yada. So being 14 and 13, what do you think happened? We got back together. We got back together for like another like maybe like month. And then we realized like this isn't going to work with me being in high school and you being in middle school. But yeah, that was my first heartbreak. Yeah.
That really reminded me that sort of like, oh, that I have a similar experience with that, like circumstance, and then like time, and then like a reconnection where it's like what could have been.
Mhm.
It was in middle school. This was a very confusing part of my life. I was really questioning like my sexuality, and there was this girl that I really, really liked, and I was so confused. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to do like, I don't think I was, because I grew up like not raised to like think that way and stuff like that. Um, but I really liked this girl, and we liked each other, but nothing ever happened. And she ended up saying like, oh, like I'm straight, like we can't do this. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I was really heartbroken. Like that made me really sad. And fast forward like 2 years later, I saw her at a party, like a quinceañera, and we had a talk, we sat down, and she was like, I really liked you, and it turns out you know, I'm not straight, and she was like, damn, like what could have been. We just talked about what could have been, and like that night I cried a lot because it's like, oh, like it just sucks. It just sucks. Like that missed opportunity was like, dang. But
Those missed opportunity type situations are always sucky because it's like, you wonder what could have been, but at the same time, you're in a situation now where it just wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? But some people follow through with it because they're reminded of those feelings that they had for that particular person, and then they just get together, even though the circumstances don't make sense for them to get together, and then they end up just even more heartbroken. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. But that's why those situations are pretty sucky. This episode is sponsored by us, For You Apparel. It's our clothing brand designed for the people who do everything that they do for that one special person. Could be your family, could be your significant other. But either way, go to foryouapparel.patternbyetsy.com and use code QUAD10 for 10% off your order today. Again, that's foryouapparel.patternbyetsy.com. I'll put the URL in the description below. You won't be able to click it. I don't know why, but I'll figure that out. But foryouapparel.patternbyetsy.com and use promo code QUAD10 for 10% off your order today. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. So we're gonna transition topics a little bit here. You guys are graduating next week, Wednesday.
yes, we
So,
are.
Yep.
do you guys have any questions about adulting with me and Naya being a year older?
First and foremost, taxes. I'm scared. Guys, how is that? Like, is it actually like a dread, or like, is it like whatever?
So for me, it's a little different. So I can go after, but Naya, you can go
I'll
first.
go first because I work a typical like W-2 like job, whereas Carlo works at 1099. But if you're working like a standard job that has a W-2, it's fairly simple because this year was actually the first year I did taxes like for the first time, which is I'm like proud of myself. I'm like I'm like an actual adult now, sort of. But I would say like if you make a certain amount, and it's like less than, I don't know, I don't remember. I think it's different per state, but it's like less than a certain amount. You don't have to pay taxes. You actually get refunded. You just, yeah. Like for me, I did my taxes on like TurboTax. It was so easy. You just input all the information that you get from your W-2 onto TurboTax, and it does it for you. And then it'll determine whether or not you have to pay taxes, or they're gonna give the state and the government are gonna give you money back. And I got money back, which is awesome. But I know like after I graduate and I get like a job and I have to actually pay taxes, it's probably going to be a little bit different, but you can set up like a monthly plan for you to pay it back, right? Pay your taxes back. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different. So here's one thing. Here's a little tip. When you go into your job, and you have to fill out your W-2 or your W-4 when you first start working, always claim 0 on that form. What that's essentially saying is that when you claim 0, you're letting the job take the full amount of taxes out of your paycheck. And then they basically put it into a withholdings account so that or they basically pay it straight to the government. And then at the end of the year, when you get what's called a tax refund, the tax refund is basically just the money that you overpaid on you while you were paying your taxes every paycheck. That's essentially, it just means that you were paying more taxes than you needed to. But so that's why I always say claim 0, because if you claim anything more than that, you do get a bigger paycheck every single week, but you end up likely paying taxes at the end of the year. So like for example, some families, they like larger families, they need a little bit more income every single month so that they can put food on the table and put a roof over their head. So they'll claim like 1 or 2 on their W-2 or W-4 so that they get more money every paycheck. But at the end of the year, they have to pay taxes. They don't get a refund. Yeah.
Oh, that actually
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. The reason why my situation is a little bit different is because I'm what's called a 10 for my job, because I work in sales. I'm technically a 1099 independent contractor. What that means is I basically am self-employed. So in a sense, I run my own business. My business is owned by a corporate entity, if that makes sense. So I don't get taxes taken out of each paycheck. So at the end of the year, I end up having to pay taxes. So this last year, when I did my taxes, I ended up owing maybe like $7,000 total. Yeah, $7,000. But when you own a business, or when you operate as a self-employed worker, you get access to tax write-offs. Do you know what tax write-offs are?
No clue.
Okay, so tax write-offs are basically anything that you use for your business, anything that you purchase that's used for your business. So for example, let's say you use your phone for your work, you can write that off. Did you buy a laptop to use for work? You can write that off. And essentially you don't have to pay as much taxes on those things. So my taxes went from like $7,000 down to like $700. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because I wrote off quite a few things, including an office space, like my laptop, things like that. So my taxes work a little bit differently. So if you're working in 1099 where you work in sales or you own a business, that's how it works. But like Naya was saying, if you earn less than, I think it's $10,000 throughout the year, you don't have to pay taxes, I don't believe, because it's like, it doesn't make sense for you to pay taxes. So that's it. So like a lot of college students, they'll work maybe like 10, or they'll work maybe like 15 to 20 hours a week, and they end up making less than $10,000 at the end of the year. So they don't have to pay as much. They just get refunded. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's actually very
You're
big
muted.
brain.
Another thing that they take into account when you are doing your taxes is like if you are paying for school or paying for like your dorms at school, they'll take that into account and be like, oh, you're paying, to survive. So that'll also help determine like whether you get refunded or whether you have to pay, kind of thing.
Whoa.
So it all depends on like how you get your money and where you spend your money kind of thing.
It also depends on how much you make. So like for me, I won't disclose how much I made last year, but I made a decent enough amount to where I had to owe $7,000 at the end of the year. You know what I mean? And so like taxes also work differently depending on if you're self-employed as opposed to if you work a W-2, like a regular job. If you're self-employed, you get taxed state tax, federal tax, as well as you get taxed on self-employment. And so you end up paying more taxes when you own your own business because you didn't pay taxes throughout the year, as opposed to like with a W-2, you're only paying taxes on your paychecks, but those get taken out of your paycheck every single time. So you don't really have to pay taxes. It's more of doing the paperwork and then receiving money. That's essentially what it's like. So don't be scared of taxes if you work a regular job. You're essentially just filling out paperwork and then you get money. That's pretty much it.
A lot easier than you think. Like
Yeah.
it seems so daunting, but it's a lot
It's not
easier
scary
than
at
you
all.
think.
It's scary if you're self-employed. Like for me, I was crapping my pants for like a good like month about it. But yeah, like the $700, I just put on a monthly plan and I pay it off in like, I think I pay like less than $200 a month for 4 months, and then it's done. Yeah, super simple. That's how taxes work.
Wow. It used to be so foreign to me, but it's all clear. The fog is
Yeah.
clearing right now.
It's not as scary as you think. MJ, did you have anything? I know taxes was a big thing for me when I was graduating. I was like, what's that gonna be like?
I know, like right when I turn 18, everyone's like, taxes. And I'm like, no.
Taxes and voting. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, voting too. And how's that? Have you guys voted at anything?
So we had our local election, like the state election, but me and Naya turned 18, or we didn't get our things in the mail to be able to vote in time. So we didn't get to vote this
Oh.
last election. But in the 2024 election, we will be able to vote, and we will vote.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, it's super important, by the way. If you're listening to this, if you're 18 and older, you better vote. Like if you're not voting, you're
American
doing
citizen.
you are
better vote.
you're doing a disservice to your country by not voting.
Disservice.
But the crazy part is the people who don't vote are also the same people who talk so much crap about the United States. Like, I hate our country and yada yada. I'm like, then vote then. Like then vote. Make a change.
Use
You know
your
what I mean?
power. Make a
Yeah.
change.
MJ, did you have any questions about adulting?
Was that?
Did you have any questions about adulting?
Bro is still marinating. Oh my
No,
god.
because he lagged out. You said MJ, and then
You have any questions about
okay.
adulting?
Did any of you guys dorm with people? Are you dorming currently? Oh, that's you guys are living together. Never mind.
Like for college, he means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Go ahead.
Both of us do college online, and we are living with each other. So I guess in a way it's like dorming with someone else, but also
Ah!
it's like I don't know, because we're together, so it it not technically it's not dorming because we're not at an actual college, so I can't give my personal experience. I can tell you that we rented out an apartment for a little bit, like together, like on our own, kind of thing.
Wait, so
Um,
are you guys like in a house right now?
you wanna do what I explained that, Carlo?
Yeah, sorry. So crazy enough, straight after high school, me and Naya got a place together. Like straight after high school. Because I was making enough money to be able to move us into our own apartment. So and I mean I still do, but we're saving right now in order to get a house. And so like yeah, so we got a place together. So it's a little bit different for us. I don't think we have any answers for you on dorming. The best thing I can say, like from experience of living with another person your age, even if it is your significant other or it's not your significant other, is just be mindful of your space. Just be mindful of your space. If it's your space, keep it clean. If it's a shared space, also keep it clean. And set ground rules of like, hey, this is, I'm gonna, or like, let's do laundry on this day, or like, let's do this on this day. And like, just set boundaries, especially if it's someone that, you're just meeting. Just from the get-go, be very adamant of like, hey, this is how I like to live. Can you please respect that? You know what I mean? Like, so like for you, MJ, you have a little bit of a messier room. So it's probably going to be more so you have to be okay with your roommate being a little bit more, if they are a little bit more cleanly, then just be aware that like, hey, they might want you to be a little bit more cleanly with your side as well.
Also, I don't know if you guys can really like answer this, but like, what should we pack for those who are dorming?
I'm also dorming, by the way. With strangers, I'm scared.
I don't know. Do you want to tackle this one?
Crickets.
I don't really have like experience.
I can answer like with what I've heard from other people. Because like one of our close friends, like, just moved away to college like last year. Um, and so I remember him trying to figure out what to pack. You know who I'm talking about, right, babe? And essentially it's the same for all college students. You don't really know, and you end up with just like this super full suitcase or two super full suitcases. Are your parents going up with you to help you move into your dorm?
I think so.
I think so too.
Pretty sure.
Okay, so what I'd say is, are you guys taking a plane or are you guys driving there?
We're gonna drive. I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
drive. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, the main things is like, don't pack anything that you don't think you're gonna need. You know what I mean? Like, don't pack clothes that you feel like you're gonna just like wear once every month. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has the same like 5 or 6 pieces that they almost wear every single day. Pack those. Pack comfy clothes because you're in your college. But also, you're probably gonna party a little bit, so do pack a couple outfits that are going to look nice. But the thing is, you are going to spend money on clothes when you go out to college. So like, it's fine. What were you gonna say, Julie?
I do know for sure. I will be packing that for you merch. Get yours. You need to like, it's like literally the comfiest. Look at this. Look at the back.
Yes, I
Let's
do it.
go.
Why are you not
you.
wearing this? Yeah, I do it for you. I know I'm taking this sweater. Come on now. Yeah, that's right. I'm stealing your sweater.
That's my favorite sweater though. It's like this is better.
Mm.
This one's better.
I would agree with Carla. Like, take only the things that you need, and that, I mean, okay, when I pack for like trips and like staying at other places, I tend to overpack because you just never know. I'm just one of those people who pack, like, if I'm staying for like 1 or 2 days, I pack like 5 sets of everything.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use that, and then I just don't.
It's a completely different situation, and I don't quite think that me and Naya are fully qualified to be able to answer that
Hey,
question.
if people who are watching this right now leave what you packed to college or what you're going to pack to college in the comments, and they will get some great advice.
Yeah,
Please.
I need it. Please.
Julie, I know you had a lot of questions. Did you have anything else?
Shopping, like grocery shopping. Like how's like that? Because I know like that's like so like, oh, basic, but like that's like adulting. Like how is that? I guess how's that?
Dude,
I can answer this. Okay.
okay, but
Where do you
just
wanna go?
preference. I love grocery shopping.
We love
Like,
grocery shopping.
I love going to Costco.
We
Ah,
love grocery shopping.
Costco.
Like,
Trader
like
Joe's
we
too.
went.
No.
We don't have a Trader Joe's, so like I can't. But if we did, I would be going. I would
Okay,
be
so
going. all
here's the
time.
thing. Trader Joe's is great in the sense of like they have a lot of options. So if there's
It's-
something that you cannot find at Costco, go to Trader Joe's. But the thing is, you also have to remember Trader Joe's is not a wholesale store like Costco or Sam's Club. So Costco and Sam's Club are like wholesale stores. So a lot of the things that they sell are marked down, and they're selling it for cheaper than you can buy it anywhere else. So if you can't find something at Costco, then go to Trader Joe's. But if you just do all of your shopping at Trader Joe's, you're probably wasting a lot of money. Not gonna lie, unless you're like vegan, but like you know what I mean. In which like Trader Joe's does have a lot of options. But I love grocery shopping, man. Like in college, it also depends on your budget. You know what I mean? Like that's another big thing. If you are like for example, like MJ, the biggest thing that I can probably say for you being an athlete get frozen chicken breasts. That's all you need. Frozen chicken breasts, rice. Yeah, you're gonna need like a big bag of rice and things to drink, like to hydrate. Those are kind of be your main three staples. It's like for you, especially being in college, like most college students who are athletes will, if you want to be eating right, it's mainly just a source of protein, some carbs, some vegetables, and something to drink. That's pretty much it. Just having a well balanced diet, and because you can go to Costco and find stuff like that for cheap, but if you're really caring about just like bare necessities and your budget is low, bro, ain't nothing wrong with ramen. Ain't nothing wrong with microwavable food because there's still some good options out there. Me and Naya still eat microwavable food to this day. That's like,
Dude, we love our microwavable food. It's easy, it's quick,
but I'm also not an
efficient.
athlete anymore. So
On that note, before like moving in together, did you guys have like prior cooking experience or did you kind of like pick that up on the way?
So, funny story, both of our fathers are cooks.
Oh,
Even though personally for me, I didn't like I was never I never really cooked a lot, but I definitely picked up skills even though I didn't cook a lot, like just by observation because I'm really good at just observation and then putting it to effect. But I'm much more a baker than I am a cook. And Carlo did a lot more of the cooking, um, just because he had a lot more fun with it.
oh, here's a college hack. Pasta is a really cheap meal that you can cook yourself and tastes really good. If you know how to make good pasta, it's pretty cheap. You should be okay.
If you store it right as well, and like, because my dad used to do this all the time, when he would make like big batches of pasta, like the big like crock pot, big 10-quart pot of pasta, and then he would um he would cook the noodles separately from the sauce, save the noodles and freeze the sauce, and then just like throughout the week you could just eat pasta if you're okay with eating the
That's
same
smart.
thing.
That's smart. So now going into a little bit of a deeper thing on that same note, what are you guys kind of like to wrap this up? Like, what are your biggest fears going into, your first year of college?
One of my biggest fears is like, what if me and Julie break up? Not a
oh,
scary. I mean, not a fun thought.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a more serious topic. It's because you guys are going, for context for the listeners, you guys are going to different colleges, right?
Yeah.
yes.
This is definitely a big thing that I know a lot of high school students think about, especially ones that are in relationships when they graduate. Me and Naya thought about this at one point in time because we thought we were going to go to.
So basically what happened was this was we're like in the midst of senior year, we're talking about what we're going to do after high school. And one of Carlo's like initial plans before we got together was that he was going to go into the military, and he was going to leave for basic training for 6 months. And we had just gotten together, so it was a scary thought. It was like, a lot of people change when they're at basic training, because I have a lot of friends who are in the military, and they've shared their experiences of basic training. And I know a couple of relationships that ended like like when they came back because either the person in basic training cheated, or
That's tend to be what happens.
yeah,
I
typically.
mean,
Wow.
like I thought about, here's the thing, was like my plan was to go into the military, and then my options, I was looking at Hilo. Actually no, Hilo wasn't even an option yet. I was looking at Harvard, possibly Air Force Academy, and some other schools in California. But like those were kind of my main options. Oh, I was looking at Pacific University for a while. That was one of my main ones. But essentially I was gonna go there, and then Naya was thinking about going to Boston for to where were we gonna go again?
I was going to go to a music academy.
Yeah. And so we had completely different plans. But that was we thought about this at one point. So Biggest thing, honestly, like, because so for context, me and Naya did end up going long distance for a little bit because I ended up going to Hilo to train for tennis for a good like I knew I was only going to be gone for like 2 to 3 months, but it was still definitely hard. It's definitely different, especially if you guys are gonna not see each other for long periods of time. The biggest
Yeah.
thing for long distance is it's hard no matter what. But I know couples who have done it for years and then ended up staying together and even getting married afterwards. Um, the biggest thing is communication. Your communication skills. I'm not knocking on you guys right now, but your communication skills right now are probably not nowhere near as good enough as they need to be when you guys are in college. I don't know what your guys' communication skills are like right now, but my best guess is that they're probably going to need to get way better when you guys are long distance. Like me and Naya told each other, hey, I'm eating lunch right now. Hey, I'm going to this place. And it just helps the other person feel more secure, right? Like, oh, I don't feel like this person is going out to a call, especially in college. It's like, oh, they're going out and partying with a group of guys, or they're going and partying with a group of girls, or like they're getting it's stuff like that. And also reminding yourself that you are in a relationship with someone. And so not putting yourself in environments that could jeopardize that. It's okay to party. It's okay to go and do stuff like that. But if you're putting yourself in a situation where there's even a possibility of you messing up in any way, shape, or form, or even entertaining the thought of you messing up, that is not a situation that you should be in. For example, like like when I was in Hilo, there were a lot of nights where I went to go party, right? There were like a lot of nights. And there were nights where I went and here's the thing is I went to go party with one of them, like a, like I went to go party a lot. And so like making sure that I told Naya where I was going and making sure I wasn't putting myself in any situations to where I could mess up, just, um, yeah, that's the biggest thing that I could say. Naya, do you have any takes on this?
No, yeah, I mean, like when he was gone for like 2, 3 months, and yeah, it wasn't that long, but he was on another island, and it's not like I could drive to see him. Um, sure, the flight was like an hour, but um, flights in Hawaii are still pretty expensive. So, like, we communicated everything. And if we didn't communicate, like, there were certain times where, like, if we didn't communicate, like, a certain thing, like, or like what we were doing at a certain time of day, like, either of us would be a little bit like, bro. But, and it's not like it's not a trust issue. It's more of just it's more of a reassurance thing. And you soon to like habitually do it. Like sometimes even though we literally live with each other, if we're out, we still text each other where we're at, even though we know where the other person is at. And I it builds a lot of trust between your relationship. Um and yeah, I think that's just the biggest thing. It was definitely something me and Carlo worked through when he was in Hilo.
The biggest thing that I could say is probably just make an effort to come and see each other in person. Like a lot of times it's holding on, where it's like, okay, I just need to hold on for 3 months and then I get to see this person in person. Like how far of a drive are your colleges away from each other?
4 hours.
4 hours. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's a student athlete too, so
Mm.
yeah.
So there might be a little like, Julie, do you have your license?
I was gonna get it over the summer.
Yeah. So getting that is going to be important and making an effort. There's probably going to be a little bit more of a, probably going to have to be a little bit more of an effort on your end, Julie, to be able to go up to see him.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to go
And
see his matches.
yeah, right. That's going to be another big thing is like, you know, going up to see him is probably going to be a big thing. And MJ, any pocket of time that you get, use it. Like, don't use the excuse of like, hey, I'm tired or it's been a long week. even if you are tired and even if that 4 hour drive seems super daunting, going in on that drive and going to see her, even if it's for like 6 hours, is going to make things a lot easier. Like a lot easier. The biggest thing I can say is like road trips to go see each other is going to be a big thing. Like a
Even meeting up
really,
in the
really big
middle
thing.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So it'd just be 2 hours and boop.
Yeah. See, like a 2 hour drive is a lot better than 4 hours, right?
That's
Go,
true.
like,
Yeah.
you can literally, like, if you have a Saturday, just a Saturday open, wake up at 5 a.m., go take the drive and spend the rest of the day together somewhere in the middle, and then drive back home or drive back to school. But like making an effort to see each other in person is going to be a big thing. Like during when I was gone, I made an effort to make sure, like, hey, mom, book me a point in time halfway through my stay in Hilo so I can come back and visit. So, like, for the entire first month, the only thing that me and Naya were thinking about was like, okay, I just need to hold out for a month and then I get to see him for 2 days. You know, like, and that kept us going. You know what I mean? Like that kept us going.
Aw.
So, what I'd say is like once a month, the most healthy thing you guys can do is like once a month. Healthiest thing you guys can do is like if you can see each other once a month, make it happen. That's all you need to do. Because holding on for 3 or 4 weeks is, or sorry, 4 to 5 weeks is a lot easier than having to hold on for like 6 months. You know what I mean?
That's true. August,
Yeah.
September, October, November, December.
Yeah, exactly.
Dang.
And also this summer, don't get too codependent with each other. Spend this summer learning how to be independent as well. Like spending every day together sounds like an amazing idea on paper. And I would say, yes, spend as much quality time as possible. But at the same time, learn to become okay on your own. Because if you get too codependent, it can not only hurt your relationship when you guys move away, but also make it harder on tennis for MJ, schooling for both of you, even your social lives and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Wow, I
Yeah.
never even thought of it like that.
Yes.
I was about to say, like, summer, we're gonna be together all the time, 24/7. But like now that you
Mhm.
mention it, you have a point. Like, it can't really like emotionally lean on him like that because it's gonna, yeah, affect my mental.
It's
Wow.
okay. It's okay to lean on each other. Like you guys are supposed to be each other's best friends. But seeing each other every day, for the sake of seeing each other every day this summer, like just to rack up a number, like, hey, we saw each other 120 days this summer. We spent every single second together. No, it's not going to be good on your mental. It's not going to be good on your mental. Because like I know people
Yeah, I can
who
see that.
who are together in person year round, and they spent every single day together, and it was toxic for them. So how do you think it's going to be for you guys when you guys decide to move away? Probably not going to be the best idea. But yeah, that's kind of our main takes on that. Julie, I know you had one too, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing with like transitioning to like college and, everyone's starting on their own path, like on that note, I guess a sort of fear would be like losing contact with people or like just a lot of like fallout friendships happening. And I know it's a part of like life, you got to move on. But it still sucks, like I would just wish like everyone could just stay together, but like
Mhm.
I don't know, it's just like it just sucks.
Yeah.
I would say because like even though I stayed on island and like I could go see my friends and family anytime I wanted to, like we said, like right after high school we got an apartment together to and in a way it was like starting everything brand new. Um and I because like with Carlo he we still saw his friends, but like a lot of my friends like moved to the mainland, so I couldn't see them as much. um and like with my family, I somewhat kept them at a distance because like for me there were parts of like my family that I didn't want, like gnawing at my life at that point of time. Um, and I would say with like when it comes to like missing friends and family, it's in the simplest way possible. It's like it's for you to grow. Like if you think about it in a way, like you're starting off your new life, but it also allows for you to grow and blossom into this new stronger person with what you already know from your friends and like from your family and like your experiences like throughout high school you probably had a lot of great experiences and you probably had a lot of bad experiences and the same things are going to happen in college, but now that you've experienced that, you get to take that with you into college to know what to do and what not to do. And um I I I don't know, what would you say on this, Carlo? Like I think I have to let it marinate a little bit for me to continue.
Yeah, I'll let you close us out. The biggest thing that I can say is, and Naya knows this about me, is I'm not too, I don't, I love my friends and the certain ones are my forever family, but not everybody is. And so I
Mm.
am very good about keeping myself at an emotional distance from certain people who I don't see staying in my life for more than 10 years. For
Oh,
example,
wow.
or even 5 years. Like I have, for example, I have a friend who I've known just about as long as I've known MJ, which is about 10 years. And him and I are best friends. He's my brother. We've been through every single stage of life together, or most stages of life together. I know he's going to be in my life 10, 20 years from now. Do we hang out all the time? No. He has his own separate friend group. I have my own separate friend group, but he's still my best friend. And I can still see him. He's still going to be my brother. He's going to be the best man at my wedding, stuff like that. Right. How there are other people who I know from that same point in time and who I even knew all the way up to senior year who I was close with, who I no longer talk to. And the reason why is because we're just completely different people now. We have completely different values. We have completely different lives, you know. And so the thing that the mindset that I always try to keep in mind when it comes to relationships and friendships with people is this person, well, there's two things. First off, in general, when I walk into a room with anybody, and I learned this from my older brother, shout out to you, Gabriel Brown. He taught me this. When you walk into a room, the first thing you should be thinking about is, am I giving energy or am I receiving energy in this situation? Right? In
Ooh.
general, like no matter where I'm going, that's the first thing I think about. Secondly, right, when it works the exact same way with friendships. I don't like to quantify friendships and I don't try to think about it as a transactional thing, but for the sake of growth, there are certain friends who are going to help you grow and there's certain friends who aren't going to help you grow. There's certain friends who are going to be in this chapter of your life and there's certain friends who aren't going to be in the next chapter of your life. And so I try not to get too emotional about it because I know that the next chapter of my life is going to hold so many different things. And, you know, being Christian and all, what God takes away, he always gives you back, right? In a different form, right? So like, you know, he may take away a few like almost all of your friends right now, but he's going to give you a lot of new ones in the next phase or chapter of your life that are going to be just as fun, just as meaningful, just as helpful, and just as emotionally supportive. But those friends are going to be more suited to who you're going to be. You know what I mean? Like, I think about like right now, the friends that I have right now. Would they have been friends with me with the version of Carla who was in high school? Probably not. You know what I mean? And I also try to think about like, okay, the type of person that I'm trying to become, what type of people does he hang out with? Probably people who are striving for similar things as me. You know what I mean? So like even at college, like when you go up to college, try to be careful with who you surround yourself with, because it's easy to get wrapped up into the social scene of college that you forget why you're actually there. You know what I mean? Like you forget, a lot of people forget why they're actually at college. They think they're just there. They be start to go into autopilot and think that they're there just to make friends and party and, you know, the sex and the drugs and stuff like that. And they forget that they're there to get a degree, and they're there to become adults and transition into that period of their lives. You know, I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. Naya, do you want to close this out?
Or I think some last minute like things to throw out there is like, from my experience, I've always been a very independent person growing up. Um, as the eldest of four kids, and also because like when I transitioned from middle school to high school, it wasn't in the same area. So when I transitioned into high school, I knew like two people when I was going to high school. So I had to like restart my friend group again because it's not like I could drive at the time to go see my other friends from middle school. Um, and I think like when you do go to college, putting yourself out there in a respectful way that like kind of like how Carla was talking about, putting yourself out there in the way that you want people to see you, but you also want people to be around you that match like the same energy or the same values, um, similar things that you are doing. Um, and I think, you know, definitely during the summers and the winters on the breaks, when you do come back home, reconnect, reconnect with those old friends, because you'll appreciate the time that you do have with them. You'll appreciate the stories that you have to share with them and the experiences that, you know, you've had along the way. Because I know with some of my friends that I have, one of my really good friends, he lives in Virginia, and we make this like a thing to talk once every 6 months, because we always forget to talk with each other on like a weekly basis. But when we do reconnect, like we have a great time sharing our experiences together and like what, you know, has been happening, kind of thing. Um, so remember to reconnect with old friends when you do have the time and the chance to do so, but also like, you know, be mindful of the friends that you do make, because they can change your whole college experience depending on who you choose to be friends with, kind of thing, you know. But that's all I have. Do you guys have any like last minute last minute things to say that you wanted to share?
I'm gonna have a lot to think about tonight. This is, oh my gosh, like very good points. It's just a lot easier said than done, because I mean, me and MJ are both people pleasers to the max. So it's gonna be a tough one, but
One last thing for this on that note.
lamb cook.
I was actually a people pleaser at a certain point too. And Naya knows this about me, where I cared so much about my friend group at a certain point where, you know, like all of them called me Kuya, which if you don't know, that means older brother. I was like the older brother of my group. And there were certain points in time where it just became unbearable, because I had to balance that with school, with tennis, and trying to become an entrepreneur, and it just became too much. And so the thing that I tried to realize that I think helped switch things for me over time was that, look, even some people in our lives are just not going to be there like in the next period of our lives, and it sucks, but that's the reality. And you can ask your parents about this too, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the friends that they talk to in high school, they don't talk to anymore either. It's just a thing that happens, but that happens at all stages in life. There are people who, you know, even our parents are friends with right now who they probably won't talk with in 20 years, but that's just a stage of life. And people pleasing, it is a good thing in a sense that it helps you make friendships and it helps you maintain friendships, but it's a bad thing in a sense that it can hinder you from reaching your full potential as a human being. Right. And so that's one thing that I try to keep in mind. But I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty good place to let the audience marinate, let you guys marinate. And I think it's a good place to end off this episode.
Yeah. I think today's episode was kind of, we had some first times, and then we had some college thoughts and adulting thoughts. But I think it was a good episode. Thank everyone. Thank you guys for watching. We will be uploading once a week, so be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and comment what you want to hear next. We're always willing. We're very open to ideas, and even though we have things planned out, leave a comment. And remember to get your For You apparel. The URL is in the bio. Get your For You
Yeah.
apparel now.
Go,
Yes,
let's go.
yes. And congratulations to all of class of 2023 graduates. Good luck adulting. Good luck out there. If you haven't graduated yet, you guys are gonna do great. If you have graduated, congratulations. Stay tuned till next week, and remember, we do it for you. Bye, guys.